And we're live. Hello and welcome everyone to the Mugs live stream. We have some of the finalists this week for Lego Masters with us, joining us. We may have a few more drop in and out throughout the night or throughout the session. Don't know how long we'll stay, but yeah, welcome. And
thank you.
How is everyone?
All right.
Hello.
Good.
Yep, all good.
Has the excitement died down from last night yet?
Well, the hangover set in.
Yeah, just now.
Crawled out of bed just before this.
Yeah, I think I was still going most of the morning.
No, it was a lovely night last night. Actually, it was a really gorgeous, happy vibe with people who we watched it with, which is most of the cast. Sorry, top dog. It was good fun.
Yeah. And did it end how everyone thought it would? Did obviously you had hopes of winning, but after seeing all the build?
I think it was really sad that we didn't have the people in the room, because I think part of what makes everyone build Lego is the appreciation you get and the feedback you get from inspiring kids and stuff. That was, it is what it is because of the way it had to be, but I think that was probably the bit that I really missed out on, that I was sad about, I guess. But no, the result is the result. You can't complain with what Gus and Dave dished up. It's absolutely incredible. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think it was noticeably missing. For me, it was noticeable that all the other contestants didn't come back to just.
Yeah, I know. We
were
find
really
out.
Disappointed.
Yeah. We thought right up until about 2 days prior, and then I think there were a few cases in Melbourne or something, and restrictions changed, and then it couldn't happen. And it was really actually heartbreaking because we hadn't really said goodbye to everyone. We just sort of assumed they'd be back for the finals. So, that was annoying.
Yeah,
it was such a shame. Especially Sarah and I, we got so close, and then we were so desperate to come and see what our beautiful friends had made. And but they made a call that if they couldn't get all the teams, they would have none of the teams. So they couldn't get the guys back from I think it was Queensland that the borders had closed. So it was such a shame. And I agree with Owen, not having the presence of the audience during the announcement was a shame last night.
It felt empty.
Kind of empty, yeah. But they all did amazing.
Even when you saw the judging come through, you could tell they were doing it in waves.
Yeah, family groups. It's quite obvious, wasn't it?
Ticketed and stuff. And there wasn't any AFOLs there. It looked like all normal families and stuff.
I think it was family of crew and friends of crew. There were a couple of people I recognised, like Dave Holder's girlfriend was there and things like that. So I think it was probably really limited to people that they could easily get sign-off from.
Trace. Yeah, and people they could trace if they needed to.
Yeah.
But, look, the streamers and the smoke-filled bubbles nearly made up for it.
How good were the bubbles?
It was so good.
You guys got the
best. So
the streamers went on to Hamish's first go with the streamer gun. They went all over the final build, so hanging off Gus and David's tree. You can see them in the background. Yeah, anyway.
Hi, David.
Hello. Worthy. All hail. We're not worthy.
Hello, what's up, Nob? How are you?
We're not worthy.
Congratulations. How are you feeling today?
Still drained, exhausted. Yeah, it's been a long day, a long couple of days, but happy as.
How big was the bar tab? I assume they made you cover that.
Hey, I'm a star now, so I don't pay.
As it should be.
That felt so wrong coming out of my mouth.
So congratulations on the build. How did you come up with that concept? I've got to ask. It doesn't show much on the screen when you sort of designing something. Obviously, animals have featured throughout all the builds. how did you come up with this concept? Or is that mostly Gus? I don't know.
Sorry?
Or is that mostly Gus that came up with the concept?
No, we had a lot of discussions talking together. Gus, we initially were going to build an eagle getting a fish out of the water, and we built a couple of concepts when we were planning to build for the last build. But then one day Gus came and said, I was looking at these deers. Why don't we make some deers? And I was like, yeah, that works.
It's a good idea.
That's a good idea. But it evolved over time. Initially, we were going to have a family of deers, and there was going to be a wolf inside of a cave. So you were only going to be able to see the silhouette of the wolf in the back. Okay. But it kept evolving until we got to the final concept. Even during the build, it evolved.
Mm.
Okay. So you said you had time to plan. How long between the semi-final and then the final was there for you to plan? Or
no, it was because we were lucky because we were season 3. So we kind of were hoping that the final build was a free build.
Okay.
So as any other team, we were thinking, okay, if we get to the final, this is something that we might want to do.
Okay. Fair enough. And were you allowed to order extra parts or anything for the final build?
For the final, yeah.
Yeah? Just ask for everything that you need.
Oh, yeah. We order Gus bricks, 1 million Gus bricks. I don't think we use them all.
Well, at least they're there for next year.
Yep.
What's a Gus brick?
It's the sloped curve to the side. The 1x2 sloped curved.
Okay. Is that just the one that he loves to use, or?
Yeah. That's why we call them Gus bricks.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll catch on now, David, and then people will know what you're talking about.
We're going to mention it in Mugs all the time, and everyone's just going to be...
Yeah.
It's funny because even when we ask for them, that's what we ask the guys from production. Okay, we need 20 of these Gus bricks and 20 brown and 20 white, and they knew exactly what they were looking for.
Nice.
It's funny you say that, actually. Oh, sorry. We chatted to Jackson and Alex, and we were talking about, I don't know what you guys call them. We call them doots, the 1x1 rounds.
1x1.
But Jackson and Alex had their own name for them as well. Oh, we were calling them doots, and Jackson and Alex called them nips or something. Everyone seemed to have, everyone's taught to have their own tiny little name for those things.
We have a question from the audience. Is this the right brick? Let me just bring up the brick.
Oh,
is this the right brick? No,
but it's curved to the side.
Okay.
It's that with the corner off the edge.
Yeah, taken off a 45-degree angle.
Let me Google.
Let me look for it as well.
I want to know.
Modified curved slope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can picture it in my mind. Thing
is, you have the Lego names, you have the Bricklink names.
So many names.
It's quite funny because Ryan spoke Bricklink and I spoke Lego, so it took us a little while to develop kind of Creole somewhere in the middle.
It's confusing. I'm building my color chart at the moment. So I'm doing all the 1x1 parts in the hundreds of different colors that they come in. So it's relating the Bricklink name to the Lego name to work out if I've got the right color.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and you haven't got to know Wade very well yet, but he is a crazy collector. He has hundreds and thousands.
I didn't know there was 100
everything.
colors, so... Hey Gus, how you going, man? Congrats.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you.
You look very refreshed, dude.
Yeah, I've had easier days to get through than today, that's for sure.
Did you have a nap? Because I'm tired as.
Yeah, no, I had a nap at about 10:30, I think.
You guys had a lot of interviews today?
Yeah, heaps.
Yeah, not as many as we were scheduled to. Some of them just didn't happen, and then one of them I missed, and Dave did on his own, so that was all right.
You were napping.
No, I was on a different phone call, and then they just did it without me. So
That's all right.
Guys, now that you're here, what is the technical name for the gas brake?
I'm not sure. It's like a 2x1 curved slope with a wedge taken out of it. I don't know. I don't know if you call it anything other than that.
Dave Holder has said that this is the so let me.
He's looking for one.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
Stud
Something
notch,
arms
right.
reach.
Stud notch. Sounds good. Sounds like something Owen would use.
There's the stud
Yeah,
notch.
that's one.
Yeah, that's the part. Awesome.
Great part.
So, one question from the audience is how much of your winnings of the 50K will be spent on Lego?
Steve, hello.
I feel that won't be dictated by me.
How much of it have you already spent on Lego?
Yeah, I was going to say, surely it's all been spent on Lego already.
In my head, more than in reality. Yeah.
There's so many new cool sets coming out. It's hard to not spend something, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I really want that the Imperial droid thing, whatever it is, the
Probe droid.
that little grey thing that's on
Yeah.
Hoth.
Okay,
Nice.
nice.
Let's look that up.
So, what happened with the models? The grand final models.
I don't think we know, do we?
I assume yours is somewhere. I think ours was yeah, maybe they kept little bits of it. I don't know. It was ready to be dismantled, I think, by the end there.
Oh, that's sad.
No, the only model whose fate I'm aware of is Scott and Owen's Marvel build.
Yeah.
Do you know who
What-
won it,
Do we-
Scotty?
do we-
Owen?
No, otherwise a bit their house thieving it.
Maybe.
Oh, was it a prize? Was it?
Yeah, it was the prize for the Marvel Build at Home challenge.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's an awesome.
Hopefully they'll display like at least Gus and David's winning build somewhere. It would be amazing to be able to see it in person.
I know they've displayed the previous season's winners at one of the Lego stores across Melbourne and Sydney, so
Ah, lovely.
I'm
Okay.
hoping it'll show up eventually.
They let you put that extra plate on, Gus. You get to fix up that tree before it goes on display. I can't believe they showed that.
I can't
know.
believe they showed it either.
I was looking, I had been told, we were in the room, I've been told there was a plate missing from this tree, and I couldn't see it. Like, it was at the back.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone in the audience would have seen that.
No.
Sorry, me.
Well, we knew it was missing.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Owen, did you read Dave's comment there? That's about your Marvel build, I think. It's all
Wait, where are
fully
these
glued.
comments?
Oh,
yeah, someone was telling me that.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
They craggled it. Wow.
The crag.
I wonder if they changed something on it.
That hurt.
So
We can answer that question. Are the builds copyrighted? Yes, we can't reproduce the builds at all, which
Oh,
is a
really?
shame. Mm.
I don't know how you would. There's no way I would
Yeah.
be able to rip.
Oh, I mean, exactly.
I know in the US version they created mini versions of the builds, like for
Yeah.
their Instagram and stuff,
Yeah.
but you can't recreate the full thing.
David's
I guess-
been doing that, and Gus has been doing that a bit.
Hit some.
I guess it's hard to find half a radio to recreate the build though. So.
Well, that is something that we started doing shooting because
Hi,
whenever
Ryan.
we finish the build, hey Ryan,
Hi, Ron. Hey, guys.
No.
Apologies.
you're all right. You have a good excuse.
Yes, my daughter decided when your daughter who's just had eye surgery says, I'd really like to I'd really like to have a bath, you kind of go, sure, I don't have anywhere to be.
No,
Judy.
bless her heart.
Families.
It's a pretty good sport. And now I've got the infant here while mum takes care of the bedtime routine.
So another question from the audience. You had 28 hours to build. You've obviously had breaks during that time. Can you tell us how long the grand final was split over? Like, was it 2 or 3 days, or?
It's all a blur.
Yeah.
I think
I did the count the other day, and I thought it was 3 days. But then I went, then what did we do on Friday?
interviews. I think it was 3 days.
3 days?
3.5 maybe.
Hi.
It's little Ryan.
Aww. Hey, Bubba. Hey, Nate.
We lost.
We lost Owen. I think he went back into his kitchen, so maybe he's just getting his food sorted and then he'll be back.
We lost that now.
No, maybe he saw the baby and he thought he needed it. Oh, no, I don't need that. I'm out.
Well,
Hello again.
I'm back.
There he is.
hey.
Trying to answer a lot.
So there's rumors that season 4 is going to be a fans versus faves kind of style show, or a parents and kids version. Have you guys heard of anything like that? And would you reapply if you could?
No,
Yes.
one of the European countries. Is it sort of France or Denmark where they've just done a kids version?
Yeah.
Denmark.
Like
They did
kind of like Lego Masters Junior.
Okay.
Denmark. Yeah.
I think I'll just mute.
So, which would be cool. There'd be a lot of upset adult fans of Lego though if they did that, I think.
I think the kids might prove to be better builders.
Yeah, more imaginative maybe.
Yeah. Would you let your kids go on it?
When they're a little older, like not at 4, but I don't know. What do you reckon, Gus?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I think he'd get embarrassed, my son. I think he'd. I don't think he'd like it.
Yeah, our kids were great on TV last night.
Yeah. My son had all the grade 5 kids giving him high fives and stuff today at school.
Nice.
Oh, that was nice.
Hannah would like to know if you've got any hot tips for applying for the next season. She's talking about applying.
Oh,
Yay! Good
Yeah.
job, Hannah. That's awesome.
Yep.
Practice.
Practice,
Is it-
but also just be yourself and like be animated in audition video. The greatest example of audition videos is from the man in the center right now.
Yeah, Gus. Oh,
Yeah.
Just put in just the most amazing audition video, and I would hire him based on it.
We need to see this audition video.
I'll
Yes.
dig it up again and send it to you, Wade, so you can chuck it on the mugs.
Okay.
So good. It's amazing.
Oh, no. I have it on top of my favorites, Gus. Don't worry about it. I'll send it.
But yeah, Hannah, just be yourself and be creative and like do as much practice as you can with, pick a theme and build to it and all that sort of stuff. And it'd be great to see you do it.
Is there any skills that you think are absolutely needed for Lego Masters? So obviously
and
we've
skills?
character building. We've had character building, we've had technique, motors, etc. Do you think you need those skills to be on Lego Masters?
I think technic framing is probably more important than technic motors. I think we've
Yeah,
seen
okay.
that this season. But other than that, just thinking on the spot in
Yeah.
a short time frame
I think-
is perhaps more important. Yeah.
Like compositional stuff is important. Like
Yeah,
lots of
that's
theatre set design and stuff like that, and model making, like diorama building. That was one that the producers were always telling us to Google as well. So being able to compose your builds, and it's something that Scotty and I kind of hit and miss on a little bit. But yeah, that's definitely a skill that I wish I'd tried better at. Both
That
before
whole
and during
forced
the show.
perspective thing that Brickman's on about.
Yeah, well, a little bit of that, but then also like where to like how to compose your scenes, where to put the big characters, what to frame the scene with, whether the scene needs a frame, all those sort of things. So getting it to look visually appealing, almost like a low-level arts understanding, I guess.
Okay, that's
like
helpful.
a deer in a forest, for example, surrounded by trees,
Yeah.
babbling brook.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
And
it's
I
something
mean,
that
it
Andrew
kind
and
of-
Damien. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It kind of depends a little bit on who else is in the competition. I mean, I think it was hugely clear that like Sarah and I were not as technical, but if we'd been in a season where it wasn't so technic heavy, like this season was very heavy on using mechanics and things like that, so it kind of makes the people who don't do it look like they don't know anything, just because it happened to be a season where we had people who were very, very talented with that. So you kind of just got to be as much of an all-rounder as you can be, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Or find a partner who complements your skill set.
Yeah,
pretty well,
definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
We have one other question. What was your favorite build from the seasons? Do you have a favorite build? Like, everyone's probably got their own favorite build.
From our own builds or from just in
All
general?
the builds or
Yeah.
our own build?
Interpret it how you'd like, I guess.
I was a huge fan of Scott Nolan's Marvel build. I'm going to
Yeah.
enter that competition to try and win that build because that was nuts.
Okay.
I would say that was my favorite as well.
Yeah.
I think for me,
Well, not I can't reach my hands down into. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
Are we going to do this whole pass the baby thing through?
I know.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a favorite build? Oh, sorry, Gabby.
I really loved the especially the flowers on the Sarah and Fleur's monochrome build.
The
And
amazing
just-
parts you
They were stunning, and that was probably one of the most sort of apart from the animals aside, that was one of the most artistic and sort of abstract builds that we saw. And
Yeah.
I would have entered the competition to win that one, I think.
Do you think the cameras accurately capture the builds?
Not always.
Not always. They do and they don't. Sometimes they make them look better. And then,
Sometimes they caught out the missing panel on the tree.
God.
It's weird. I think it'd be. I think all of us would be the same. Like seeing how the cameras show the build. I think we would all build like there's things you tweak and you change. Even like color
Definitely.
choices.
Yeah.
Like I like to kind of create a gradient of colors, but it doesn't look good on camera. It just looks messy if you put 3 or 4 grays in the same area.
Yeah.
It's so true.
That's
It's so
interesting.
true. Yeah. I mean, we all, harking back to the Mission to Mars build, Scotty and Owen's one, it was very grey, but those of us who didn't see it on camera were like, oh my God, the technical skill in this build, it was so detailed, it was so impressive, but on camera, the colours don't translate as well. So but it was phenomenal. It was
When I was watching that episode, they had the little viewers vote, and it won the viewers vote, I think. Of
Yeah,
that.
I know.
these
So
guys
everyone
always won the
loved it.
bloody viewers vote.
I know.
Popularity contest, I guess.
You're my kid's favourite team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Like that.
Although I still don't know how you build that mechanism for the arcade, Owen. That was just
Yeah, it was insane.
That mechanism was sick. Even
Yeah.
seeing how they built it, because that you probably got the most airtime on how the mechanism proceeded,
Yeah.
and it was still confusing. I know you explained it to me, and I thought, oh yeah, I think I get it, but it was still like, you still don't.
Was it one motor driving it, or was it?
That was
No,
every
so-
motor
so-
in the brick pit, Wade. They used
So
every
every
motor
switch
in the brick pit.
Every switch.
I think there was like 20 switches in there. Yeah.
Wow.
It was funny.
I was actually
At the end of-
inspired by Ryan's.
Sorry?
I was inspired by Ryan's flashing light. I had a camera.
Yeah. Yes, you did
running
take great
switch.
interest in that.
Yeah, just like because I was always trying to create reciprocal motion with one motor, but when Ryan told me he just put the motor into the switch. That was like a realization moment. And then all of a sudden I could create like a chain of switches and motors that could then actuate other switches and motors.
Okay.
I
So
don't
then
even know what
Because that is a
reciprocal
natural
motion
progression,
is.
right? That's the next step. So
yeah, that's
I
it. Yeah.
remember.
And then part of it was like the switches weren't balanced. So then creating like hard stops and using the clutch gears so that you'd always have like your next movement as well was important.
You can mute him, can't you, Wade? From
Wade, I never forget at the end of that build, we got to go and have a look at everyone's, and everyone's was amazing. But I went over and Ellen says to me, "Oh, just push that button," and I pushed the button, and all this stuff happens, and I was just like, "Oh, f off, mate!" Like, I was, how can I compete with that? It was just a total. Oh no, yeah, it was
Very
astonishing. Astonishing. My
Must-
husband's still talking about it.
your Brickman. Sorry, I don't want to embarrass Brickman, but he was sort of saying, looking at it, I don't know how they've done this. So, yeah.
That leads me to another question. We've been asked, how does Brickman influence your builds? Does he have any? Are you allowed to approach him off camera for ideas and techniques? Like we've seen him come up to you and go, "Hey, build the tent around the circuit." Is that just something that he does for the camera because you're already doing that, or
No. That's he will come up. It happened especially in the earlier challenges. He'd come up if he felt people were looking too comfortable, I think, towards an end of a build, and he'd come up and throw you a challenge.
okay?
And say, what's happening in this corner? You need this, and you've got 20 minutes to build something to completely new. So he'd certainly try and extend you all the time with little challenges and suggestions. And the thing about when Brickman makes a suggestion is you follow it.
You don't do it. You're on the bottom too.
Yeah, that's it.
When we built the snake, I think it was 10 minutes to go, and he came to us. Oh, you know what looked good with that snake? A flute. And we had to build the flute
that's
10
the
minutes to go, and it was a massive flute.
If you're cleaning up your desk too early, you got thrown a curveball.
Yeah. Speaking of 10 minutes to go, I understand there was some editing magic with the replacing of the sign of the big top. Ryan, did you want to come off mute and talk to us? Or
Are we allowed?
Look, I think that was just a poorly placed edit of the time clock and the time call, because that was about 16 minutes to go. Gabby, tell the story.
Yeah, no, that's
Hashtag parent life.
Yeah, we'd been testing it all the way along, and then obviously the Technic frame had just sunk with the weight over time. And then about 15, 16 minutes out, I was like, we should test it. And we turned it on and it just exploded. The whole build exploded.
Oh my God.
So all of Ryan's like peeling it all off and putting it all back together happened in about 10 minutes. It was the longest 10 minutes and the shortest 10 minutes of my life.
On the plus side, it gave us the best tip of the season.
Yes, thank you.
Without a doubt, the best tip of the season.
I think the funniest part was actually that after I got everything together, I still had to put in the battery cover, which was internal. And I realized
I had a trapeze artist on it.
I just missed it, and I had timed it with the gears that it was going to take 1 minute and 40 seconds to come around, and we had 2 minutes on the clock.
Wow.
I got one shot at this. Yeah.
Do you attribute that sinking of the Technic frame to the gaps in the roof that Brickman pointed out in part of his feedback? Or
No,
was that just not really
I attribute
noticeable?
to the fact that I had not tested that Technic frame at all. Being thrown a curveball and saying, you have to do this.
Okay.
When everybody else has sort of had a bit of idea, a bit of time to plan what they're going to do and think about it for the last build. And all of a sudden, I'm creating something from scratch straight away.
But you've still got to train in there.
I think part of our problem was that having been eliminated, and we genuinely weren't planning for the finals for nearly as long as some other teams who probably had a fair idea that they'd get there. We were quite blown away.
So in TV world, it was like two days. in your time, it was how long from when you eliminated to when you came back? Was it like a month or so?
Yeah, probably. But every build we just sort of felt lucky to still be there, to be honest. I think probably about 2 weeks out we started to think, oh gosh, Ryan, we better think of some ideas just in case.
Yeah.
I think they came back the next day, though.
Yeah.
I think that was your question, right? It was like the next
okay.
day.
Weekend.
The planning question, but yeah,
They lied to our
but yeah, we
faces.
literally moved out and then we were back on the Friday. I think it was a Wednesday that was the elimination. Thursday, for whatever reason, was off, and
IVs.
Friday was see you Friday. I think it was what Mike kept on saying to me.
Yeah.
Love you, it's been great knowing you. See you Friday.
Well, did it make you better playing the platinum brick on one day and then for them to come back the next day?
Felt so much better. Felt so terrible playing it because they were more deserving to be there than we were. So, felt so good. We kind of had a real inkling that they were going to come back. Like, we were really surprised, but no, we weren't surprised because we knew that we were only like halfway through the season and we were in the final four, so that didn't make any sense. So we kept saying to them, oh, yeah, we'll see you on Friday. And they were like, no, we're definitely going home. They packed their bags and they looked really sad. And they did a great job of acting. And then they rocked up and we're really stoked because we didn't feel good about playing it at all based on the fact our build was on the floor.
Fair enough.
As I always said, though, we would have done it to you. And that's
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's the game, but it's a shame.
Hannah has another question for you, Fleur. If you got into the final, what were you and Sarah thinking of building?
That's a good question.
We were going to build an above and below picnic scene with like a massive picnic sort of a la Mad Hatter's Tea Party, and then with ants coming up from a burrow underground and stealing all the food, and some other creatures like rats and stuff with big fat bellies and food combers. So going to be food and plant life, our kind of thing that we like doing. So yeah, that's what we were going to do.
Okay. Are you planning on doing that build for a future exhibit?
No, but I am for Brickvention planning on doing what I wanted to do for the cut and a half challenge. So for the cut and a half challenge where we had the chainsaw, I wanted to be cutting a Christmas turkey in half with its face really traumatized and have a full Christmas dinner setting. So my Brickvention build is going to be a Sunday roast.
That might not pass the vetting, Fleur.
I'm joining the committee, so I'm hoping that gives me like.
We'll have a special sealed section in the middle, like, oh no, don't go down that corridor. Prepare to be
I'll make the
traumatized.
turkey have a smile. I'll give the turkey a happy face like he's loving it.
Oh, I love it. It opens the door for a lot of other builds.
It's like a modern take on Thanksgiving dinner.
That's the plan.
I'm just picturing the traumatized face of that turkey in my head. It's just.
I think like Chicken Run. I don't know if you've seen the movie Chicken Run, but the kind of expressions of Chicken Run. Like...
I can see it. You should get someone else on the panel to build the one half, and you should build like the cut in half, and do like a shared build challenge.
Could do. Yeah, but it's right. It's in my head. It makes sense. So hopefully, I can order a lot of bricks and make it happen.
I'm sure it will be amazing. So, another question from the group: is everyone going to Brickvention, or at least attending or displaying?
Oh yeah,
yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, Owen, you are.
Yes, I am.
January.
Wait, is that the one in Adelaide?
No,
Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Melbourne in Jan.
Oh, in January. Oh, mate, I can't plan that far ahead. I'll do that in January. Far out. What do you think it's like the next week or two? Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
So did you, Owen? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Michael in Brixpo. He just messaged me.
you-
He's like, "Oh, you interested in going to Brixpo? Oh yeah. I've signed us up. We've got a table. We're doing exhibiting. What?
I saw that.
Yeah, we're doing a collab. We're doing
That's
what?
awesome.
Let's see. So, has the general Lego Masters question? Does anyone remember anyone who's won an advantage for an elimination who then didn't end up in the bottom two for that elimination?
Gus and Dave.
Okay.
Yeah,
Space World.
I remember them.
yeah.
The phallic bouncy castle.
Okay.
That is a build that the camera did not do any favors to because
Yeah, I know.
it looked a lot more phallic on screen than it did in person.
But I'm
It did.
surprised that didn't get more comments online because it was just so yeah.
And it was funny given that it was also placed into a particularly phallic structure. So it was like double levels of phallic.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And it was pointing in all directions, so you
Yeah.
had to like yeah.
Oh, we know. We saw. We saw.
And we actually had the
Actually, coming back to
conversation where
that previous question, that was my favorite build now.
Wait, is that
And
for
mine.
the rockets or
we did have that conversation when we were building it. Actually, we talked about the girth and the length because we didn't want to make it look too so
Phallic?
Much
Yeah.
like a bouncy castle.
I don't remember that conversation at all.
you blocked it out.
Are we talking about a jumping castle?
We are.
Yeah.
We think so.
So
It's
what-
ironic that the guy whose name's Top Knob is most interested in that one. But anyway,
Yeah.
other side.
Sorry, Wade. We're all badly behaved, especially it gets past bedtime and we get naughty.
the kids are involved now.
Oh, speak for yourself, Fleur.
Yeah, it's only 6:15 in Perth.
Oh yeah, it's only
He's so innocent.
Keep
Mm.
forgetting
End of the
where
workday.
I'm from. Yeah, time difference. I keep forgetting the time differences.
But seriously, that first question, the advantage, the time advantage, didn't feel like much of an advantage because all the cameras were on you. Everyone was looking at you. Everyone was waiting to see what you come up with. It's not a great conditions for coming up with a good idea.
No, and remember Hamish as well. Just Hamish next to you talking crap.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same way with the Brick of Doom? Like the 5-minute disadvantage? The cameras were just watching you count down? Or was that just more humorous than anything?
It was more of a bit of a joke. Yeah. I think they didn't show it, but Hamish described it at the beginning when he handed it out as some sort of a slight disadvantage. And it felt like a slight inconvenience. And it was probably a bit more like that.
I think the biggest distraction with the Brick of Doom was when we were building
And the lights went
Hamish and Bregman were in the corner and all the lights will change and they're talking about Gabby and Ryan.
I was watching your face when the red light, like the last hour, the red lights come on, and it's just annoying when you're building and you just can't see the colors and where you're putting stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you know what really got me a bit in the final build? The spotlights. They had 3 really big spotlights, and every now and then they will point it at your table, and all the colors will get just. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't build.
Yeah.
Did you get that as well, Owen? Gabby? Ryan? No? It was just me?
We were probably distracted.
I couldn't see anything.
I
Yeah,
felt
it was-
it.
It was just me, Wade.
It was weird. No, it was weird lighting. I didn't like it either.
Oh. I get it. Like, as I said, I'm doing my color chart, and if it's the wrong lighting, you can't tell the difference between 3 colors of blue. It's really annoying.
Scotty was too busy posing in the spotlight shadows. You
Oh,
saw
no.
that.
So funny.
That was the best.
He was so funny.
Apparently, he didn't realise there was a spotlight there. Allegedly.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
How can you miss a spotlight?
And he was looking at his shadow for the
Totally shadow.
Oh, and Steve would like to know if you just wanted to stick your tongue out when the tree branch held in the tree.
Well, I did drop a couple. I was trying to get a Coppet Brickman into this season, especially when he told us we couldn't get the mechanism to work on the arcade build. That was one where I dropped a Coppet Brickman in the interview room, but it didn't make the cut, unfortunately. We're trying to keep the WA tradition rolling, but no dice this time.
I'm hoping the arcade did survive somewhere, right?
Hope so.
I know they did dismantle it before the end because I wanted more switches for our final build and there was none, and they said they weren't going to take them out of the build. So there was about 20 or 25 switches because there was no extension leads in the brick pit. So to get like stuff to go all different places with the lighting, you ended up just daisy chaining switches. But it was very parts intensive.
Oh yeah.
You know, I know this, Oren, is on our build. We were like, we really want to put her over here, but we can't reach that spot because there's no way. There's no more extension cables or switches.
They did get some extension cables for the final build, but by then I'd already used all the switches.
How good was it that you built that mechanism, Owen, and then they brought the remote controls and the new...
Like the next episode.
Power up functions.
A question was asked: are you allowed to use Mindstorms?
No, in the US they use the Mindstorms, don't they? In season 1 of US Lego Masters, they use them a lot. Yeah. So maybe that's something you'll see next season. Anyone wanting to apply, I would be. You don't think so, Ryan?
No. Well, they actually toyed with doing a challenge using it in season 1 and deemed it unnecessarily complicated for people that had never touched it before, and having taught Mindstorms a lot, you don't really look like you're in command of it for at least 6-12 months of use of it. So having us sit there and work on it for a week or whatever before we start that challenge, and you know what they're like, they don't really like giving us an advance warning on a challenge. You're just you're really gonna have a team that are gonna look pretty lackluster and not very masters of Lego. And if they just get people that are already have a command of that programming language, you're probably not going to get the same diversity in your cast.
What about Boost then? Do you think Boost would be the user-friendly version of it? No. Do you think it's needed?
I don't think it needs it. It would have been hella convenient for some of the stuff like flashing lights, easy program, on off, repeat. So if you knew how to use it, absolutely, it's much easier. But and definitely some of Owen's mechanisms could have been created far more easily with that, with sensors and whatnot. But I think that it's the same thing. Like I bought the Boost system to test as a school option, and it's still learning a different programming language or a way of getting it to do stuff. And same with the new Spike Prime and the whatever it is 51515. It's still needing a fair amount of background knowledge to be able to look like you've got a mastery of it.
Okay, fair enough.
Wade, I actually felt like in my own way that I contributed to Owen and Gus and Ryan's builds because we were limited to having 2 motors per team and we only used them in one challenge. So I felt like I was gifting my lack of technical knowledge to the others. It's kind.
That's all right. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
Taking it for the team.
I love how Gabby got the, as soon as I said no lights, no things, she's like, I think there's some other lights. I'm going to go find them. I'm not doing without lights.
I found light bricks for the the Bifrost in the
Can't be satisfied with the lights above. I still need to use these little 1.5 volt lasts 10 minutes light blocks.
Good old light brick. Yeah. Would any of you participate in international Lego Masters, like Lego Masters around the world versus other Lego Masters from around the world.
Yeah, just
I would.
I don't know, just for the experience.
Any
Even if-
excuse to play in a brick pit, mate. I mean,
Yeah.
we had too much fun on and off set to turn it down.
Yeah.
So with the Marvel brick pit that they had, did the parts from the Marvel brick pit just end up in the normal brick pit after? Apart from mini pits,
I think I saw some of the plates, the wedge plates.
Yeah.
And
I noticed
yeah.
that the 2x2 with the frames with the bars right around it, there was a lot of those in the Marvel pit that never seemed to resurface.
And there are things like cloaks for minifigs and things I didn't see again after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it annoying not to have that part selection in the other parts brick pit?
I probably, if we'd asked for something, I don't know, maybe that. I doubt they like threw them away. They would have maybe been able to get them.
We
You know
actually
what-
did ask for something. We asked for there was on the Avengers Tower in there was some larger curved tiles, and we needed them for the watering cans. So we asked for them, and they're like, "We don't have them." And I went, "Yes, you do, because they were on that tower, and they found them for us." So
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not.
We
washing-
actually we used the little plastic moldings that you get for some minifigs that have been posed. Little clear plastic, translucent. I don't even know what you'd call that.
Yeah.
They weren't in the brick pit beforehand, but after the Marvel build, they
Yeah.
suddenly appeared, and we could use them in our final build. So yes, things did appear.
Dave is loving all the speculation on the show.
Because he knows so much more than we do.
Yeah. See,
Just following Dave's Instagram.
You should
he's
get
still-
him on the stream, Wade. He can fill you in.
he's
Dave,
too
if you want to
discreet.
join us, you're more than welcome to.
I've seen Dave correct me on a few things that
Yeah.
I've commented on here and there. No, that's not what happened. Like, I'm speculating.
I'll send him the link and see if he'll grace us with his presence.
He can tell us which builds they kept.
Which they kept then.
Come on, Dave.
That
And-
privileged information, though.
And
It might
Gus,
be.
do you want to share what's happened with our build? Let's see if Dave allows us to talk about the photos we saw last night.
Yeah.
Oh, that
What
was
did you see? Tell us.
I'm not saying it until Dave shows, because I dare say that there's probably a bit of blurred lines happening on that.
It's just like
Yeah.
Insider goss. Okay.
Definitely not putting it on a live stream.
You have now.
Oh no, it's. Oh yeah, probably. Hey, sorry, Dave, you get fired.
him on the spot.
Hey
Come on.
Ryan, did you look in the comments that Steve is questioning your Asgard knowledge there?
Fair
Have
call.
you read that comment?
Which one?
Fair bloody call. Yeah,
Called
called
Frost
Frost Giants and Ice Demons. Sorry,
We called them both intermittently because we didn't. Yeah, and then they obviously just used ice giants at some point.
Can I absolutely this is? I know it's horrifying for all those diehard fans out there. I had not seen any of them.
Neither.
Gabby and I
Obviously.
sat there and watched. I know. Gus and I. But seriously, Gabby and I watched Ragnarok on quadruple speed and just paused, slowed it down for important bits that might stimulate. I'd seriously seen the clips. That's it.
That was the director's intent, I think, when he made it, was to make sure you watch it 4 times as fast as possible, and then slow it down when you think that it's necessary.
If I picked Iron Man, easy.
Yeah.
I watched those.
Yeah,
movies,
same.
Yeah.
but not Thor.
I hated
So I
them
guess
all.
for future Lego Masters, they need to watch all the Lego Disney themed shows.
Well,
And
we
Figure
speculated
out who the major sponsor is, and then watch all those
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
We really did.
we were hoping it was going to be Harry Potter this year, or we kind of guessed, but
Nah, they'd never get the rights to that.
yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
true.
It has to
All
be
those
some
sets
Disney
coming out.
company.
It's a reasonable speculation.
Star Wars, Disney. Well, I guess Harry Potter's got the 20-year anniversary this year. So next year, I think it's because Marvel's 10-year anniversary is this year.
So Harry Potter's just not trying to sell new movies as much, whereas Marvel and Star Wars are still trying to promote new things.
Yeah, that's very.
I would have loved Harry Potter.
J.K. Rowling and say, pony up.
Yeah.
That's probably why. I made a joke. I made a joke to the producers about when we come under the roller door, the return contestants. Oh, can we do Guess Who's Back? Yeah, back again. And it's fair to say I copped a bit of a serve back on it, but yeah, they're just not going to pay for that when they've got perfectly good music. They're not going to pay for unnecessary things, I guess. So Harry Potter's 10 times more expensive than Marvel. I'll probably just go for the Marvel.
That's true, and Marvel's more likely to please the fans rather than witches and wizards and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, I don't know. It depends what age bracket. I think young kids have been perhaps.
I'd love to see the actual sales figures for Lego. Like, obviously, they've been running Marvel stuff for a lot longer, and Harry Potter comes in sporadically. But definitely, the fact that we're up to like the third wave of these Harry Potter sets, and $600 sets and $650 sets, I reckon.
Yeah, I buy the Harry Potter sets because they've got better colours in them. But it's just me. Colours I prefer. Yeah, there you go.
So, is there one set coming out that you guys want to get?
Several.
Can you name one?
I want to get those Harry Potter big figs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I reckon that's going to be the Avengers Tower of Next Brickbenching. Do you remember when that set came out and everybody had a Avengers Tower on their layout?
Yeah.
But I think that you'll see everybody remodeling those big figs in every Batman and Iron Man and whatever fig that they can think of.
I like that scale better than the previous big fig scale that they did. You see a lot of people remodeling that for the different figs as well. Yeah. So this one definitely looks a little bit nicer. There might be a few printed parts that it needs.
I know Scotty's hanging out. He's hoping for a UCS Slave 1 again with the Mando series.
I was going to say, there'll be some Mandalorian stuff coming, yeah.
Yeah, he's hoping for another big UCS Slave 1.
Okay. I think Thanos got that, even just for the parts, a lot of gold.
The Thanos glove, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all just talking about dismantling sets. We don't actually want the sets.
Which part you want to buy?
Which one's got the most dust bricks in it?
Those big figs do. Those big figs have got a lot.
Oh, see you guys. See you guys already.
There's two votes for big fig.
Yeah.
Gus, do you have a set you're after?
Not specifically. I'm a big fan of those Star Wars helmets that have been coming out. So when there's another round of those, I'll be looking at them pretty closely. I don't love the Batman or the Venom and Carnage ones. I think they're a bit crap looking. I just reckon they missed the mark on those pretty hard. Though. There's no emotion in them. And then they had the stupidity to put a picture of Carnage from the comic books right next to the Carnage build, to show you how different it looks, almost.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, those Star Wars helmets are great. When more of them come out, I'll probably get those. Yeah.
Okay. Fleur, do you have a set you're after?
Look, I'll buy the Friends set, even though I'm opposed to how much it costs. I'll buy it because I like the program. But I actually am hanging out for the Home Alone Ideas set. I don't know when it's going to get released yet, but it got approved last year and it's amazing. So yeah, keen for that one.
Does it have like functioning traps in it? Do you know?
Yes.
I don't know. I think so. I think it does.
I think the submission did. But
right. It really looks super cool. So hopefully something good. I mean, you know me, Wade. I'm all about my modular buildings and stuff, and I loved the medieval, build that came out, idea set that came out recently. But I'm not so much a Star Wars girl, anything like that.
Fair enough.
There was a set on Ideas a little while ago, which was Venice, like a Venetian canal. I don't know if it got up. It was pretty close.
Okay.
I haven't checked in recently.
That man gets up for so much. He also did. He has been approved before, but he got up for the Wild West Studios, Brick West Studios. His builds are insane. He does so many beautiful ones. Every single one seems to get up to 10,000, but not many get over the line because most of his are modulars, and they don't Yeah, I'm having a mental block of what his username is, and I'm freaking obsessed with the man.
Yeah,
I'm on Instagram. He's amazing.
I should know as well. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. What's his name?
That had some really lovely, nice sort of part usage and interesting.
He did Stuttgart train station as well, and I wish that one had got approved. It was beautiful. Yeah.
I'm sure if you look on Rebrickable, you might be able to purchase the instructions. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
We have another question. If there's something that you could have improved about the show or for next season, what would it be? So
let the
something
teams immunity build.
Sorry?
Let the teams that win immunity still build. We sat out like 3 episodes. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Stop winning.
Stop bragging.
Jesus.
Just be better, guys.
Poor thing. You made shirts. We got sympathy for you. Very little.
Yeah. I know it can't happen, but I really wanted to see more of, like, especially Atlanta and Jeff's builds. It's just a shame that people have to go out so early on.
So you
just when you're getting to know them.
Your point system.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I wonder if they will look at a point system.
I don't think a point system would be quite as exciting for TV.
No, but maybe
maybe one or two more builds.
Yeah, maybe let more time between eliminations because of what they did this year, bringing all 4 teams back. I think they need to do something different next year. Otherwise, people won't have any problem getting eliminated because they'll be like, well, that's fine. We're coming back in anyway. So they'll have to rethink how they do that, I think.
They can do master classes.
Dave Holt is probably laughing at us right now.
He probably is, because he.
Yeah.
Or taking notes.
Sorry?
Or taking notes. He's either laughing at us or taking notes.
Yeah, maybe.
It's about to submit it to legal.
Do you think a second judge is needed on the show?
A second
judge.
Ooh.
So I know that's a bit of controversy.
That's controversial.
Like in the US, they have the 2 judges from Lego headquarters, which is one of the set designer, one's an artistic designer. And here we've only got the 1 judge. In the UK, they have 3 judges. So do you think we need another judge to offer a different point of view?
It would probably make for good TV, having 2 different points of view in the room. But I didn't have, I don't know if it would make much difference to the kind of outcomes or the. Yeah.
I think people, this might be controversial, but people will still have a problem. Even if you have 5 judges, they're still going to have a problem with the decision. So
I would hate to be eliminated knowing that the other judge didn't want me to go. Do you know what I mean? At least it's unanimous when there's only 1 judge.
I don't know. Ryan?
No, I will probably break legal things by talking about this.
That's your answer.
Ryan is Switzerland.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys all made it to the semi-finals. Did you sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Did you ever disagree with the judges' decisions throughout the process? Obviously, you guys got eliminated.
Yeah.
Were there any times that you would have gone, oh no, that build should have got over that build? because I honestly think the builds were a bit better than I think the judge's decision was the correct decision every week, if that makes sense. And I know that's controversial, and I'm sorry, but I think he made the right decision based on what we saw from the TV side. Like, I don't think they would have gone, we should have sent you home rather than you any week. But did you guys feel the same way? Did he make the right decision every week? Or do you think there was someone else that he should have kept?
It's very hard to be impartial, I think, to answer that question, because you're always going to hurt more when people you've had more time with, that you're connected with, go. I mean, we're all one big happy family, but like, it really, really, really hurt to see Sarah and Fleur go. We, spent a fair bit of additional time, had a lot of conversations with them, and I know it's weird. Sorry, I know you're right there, Flo,
but it was the right decision, and we felt that too. Like, we, even before the twist, we were like, this is our time, and it was the right decision. Yeah. I think across, as much as hundreds of people on the internet would disagree with me, I think that the calls were right every single time. I do. I think
it wasn't always my favorite build that won, for example, but I knew Brickman's very open about what he's looking for, and so you make a choice as to whether you build for what he's looking for. And I don't think that was ever a secret or a hidden.
I understand. Brickman gives you like 30 minutes odd feedback on each build, and they edit that down. Is that about right?
Oh no, 5 minutes.
5 minutes maybe.
10 tops, I reckon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're seeing the highlights, and that's the same. Like, I've seen a lot of comments about, that's not fair. He's giving David and Gus all this help, and then in previous episodes, he was the one who told bloody Owen to build the Cyclops and stuff like that. And look, there's probably a couple of exceptions where he may have missed someone, or for whatever reason, producers said don't talk to them or whatever. But for the most part, most of us got a very, very similar amount of time spent, and just somewhere in there gone, it doesn't move the story forward to show that conversation that Brickman had with Ryan and Gabby, or with David and Gus. But that one was entertaining when he spoke to Owen and Scotty, because they said something. Yeah. So it's like, I find it really interesting to watch the armchair judges making those declarations after seeing an hour and a half of footage. It doesn't take a mathematician to go, you've got 15 hours times by 6 teams, plus an additional 2 hours of footage of story time and judging.
Yeah.
Do the maths, guys. They're showing you a highlights reel.
Yeah. And I mean, we had literally hundreds of comments of saying this is so unfair, it's so biased, the girls never get any negative feedback. We had so much negative feedback. Oh my God, the Marvel build, I literally got ripped apart for 10 minutes. I was crying, and they only show one line and it was positive. And it's because it's a family show that's edited for entertainment, and they're not going to show him tearing shreds off people, because then kids at home are going to go, oh, I must be rubbish then, Like, it's so, absolutely, they showed our positive feedback, but you guys in the room know that we got some furnishings.
Ryan and I got flarked.
Yeah, they say, you say you
Do you think they need like a behind the scenes style show on the website to highlight some of the behind the scenes stuff?
We joked a lot about Lego Masters up late, but we're still waiting for that.
I'd be happy to watch like just the Brick Pit footage.
I would love. There was a lot of singing, a lot of jokes, a lot of
I noticed a lot of people were building in the actual Brick Pit.
But that's where the funny conversation. That's where you had the cross-team conversations, and they showed hints of it. but some ridiculous conversations were had. I think I joined David and Gus's team when they were building the stereo. And actually even bugger off. And when Scotty sent Owen over with the guitar, because obviously they'd had a discussion about, no, you can't put a switch there. No, that's not how a guitar looks. And Owen came up, oh, excuse me, Mr. Evans, you're the local guitar expert. Should a switch go here? And I did, oh yeah, guitar looks like this. He said, okay. And I went back.
No, and watching Scotty in the break was just. Sorry, go.
Say
Go
it. Say
top.
You can put that boy in a fish bowl with a ping pong ball, and it'd be interesting to watch.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Actually, could though. He quarantined here with us for 2 weeks because we had to quarantine coming back from the show. And I could just sit outside and watch him through the windows, just fumble through everyday life. He's hilarious.
Ryan, we have a question from Peter Maywood asking about your Lazy Susan setup for the Big Top, I think. He'd like to know how you did it. I'm probably guessing it's going to be a way too technical call for this video. If you're able to comment on the chat or the stream in Mugs and give him some pointers.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to share like that. The short answer is it was effectively 4 train type bogies driven by a large motor and then a frame that supported it and 4 supporting wheels.
Yeah, that's too complicated for me. So,
that's the shortest explanation of something Ryan's ever given in his life.
I was going to say, yeah. When Ryan said there's a quick one,
I was waiting for that to just go on and on and on. It was, yeah.
That's why
I'm waiting for Gabby to say the best way to explain it is to build it.
Just
build it.
The abuse that I put up with. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
We love you.
Completely undeserved.
Whatever.
Another question. What's the strangest place you've been recognized so far, now that fame's got to everyone?
Ooh.
I don't think it's got to everyone.
No, but this morning I went to get a coffee and I was walking on the sidewalk and there was a lady driving her car. She stopped her car in the middle of the street, rolled down the window and went, "Congratulations on the win," and just kept driving. And I was like,
That's cool.
so weird.
That's
Whereas
awesome.
I had a woman I've worked with for 10 years at work say, "Are you related to that chick on that Lego show? Because you look a lot like her." Like, yes, I am. So obviously I haven't reached your heights of fame, David.
Wow.
Well,
Still my favorite.
I got recognized by my accent one time. Someone came behind. I was in the supermarket, and someone came behind one of the shelves. He was like, "I heard your voice, and I thought I recognized it." And I was like, "Yeah, good."
All about that telltale sign.
Yeah.
I guess, like, Gus, you can shave if you wanted to just go into anonymity.
Go incognito.
Just disappear for a bit, yeah. I look like that.
You wear the t-shirt.
Mm.
I'm Gus.
Yeah.
Owen
Yeah,
is
don't wear that t-shirt. That's a mistake.
Owen, is Scotty still talking about shaving off his dreadlocks?
He should
no,
opt in
thankfully.
them. We could do like a Brickvention charity drive to shave his
We
dreadlocks.
thought, yeah, one of those shave for
Oh, yeah.
cause or something.
Shave
God.
his-
I'll put it to him, but if he does have to go vegan for a month, and I'm not sure if I've got that in me, so I'm actually going to advocate for keeping them.
Well, we saw some photos this week, and you boys were stopping traffic in WA.
Yeah, you sure were.
That's
Yeah.
hard to do. There's not a
Really?
lot of traffic in WA.
No.
It's really
Was that
impressive.
on Saturday, Friday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were out with Michael.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we went out with Mike. We thought on a Friday night in Perth City, our demographic would not be such that they'd recognise us. But it turns out there was a lot of mums out on the town, and Scotty was getting like dragged out of the car at one point.
He'll be loving it.
Yeah.
Scotty was being dragged out. That sounds like it was
Yeah,
against
they
him.
recognised him through the window, so he just started getting out of the car to have a photo with him. And we're like in the middle of the street.
I was
I'm
going to say
surprised-
Scotty's the new DILF, but he's not a dad. So what would he be? The
Not that we know
Sylph?
of.
The
Yeah.
Scotty that they'd
Sparky,
like?
Sparky, Sylph?
Yeah, Sylph maybe.
Ilf?
When does it just become a good-looking person? Like, when do you stop being a name?
We
That's
need
boring. Yeah, you're forever top knob now.
Yep, happy with that.
Another question from the Mugs group is, were there any builds that you'd make any changes to in retrospect?
Street
All of them.
side.
I think like just watching back, when you see how things look on camera and when you're not in the moment and stressed about how it's
Yeah.
going to end, when you've got kind of that time to reflect on it, there's so many things you want to change. Like normally when you build something, you put it on the table, you go and you go to work and you come back the next day and you've got the best set of eyes. But a lot of the time you don't have that, so yeah.
Okay. So, any specific build that you've looked at that you'd like change something on, apart from the one missing plate on the tree?
Oh, no, I think
Too
for
soon.
me, the Anubis build,
Yeah.
when Brigman was giving us the feedback, that was so obvious when he went, it looks like a comic book because you have everyone summoning the Anubis on this side and you have the big, so it looks disjointed. And we went, oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have to leave you. Sorry, guys. Thanks for the chat.
Okay. No worries.
Catch up later.
Thanks for joining us.
Good
Nice
to see you,
to
mate.
see you.
Hey.
Now,
Here we
now
are.
he's gone, we can talk about him. Oh, wait.
Everybody again.
Enjoy your
Catch up
dinner.
later.
You can still watch. Gus, obviously you've got an experience in building the character animal figures from your work, like the Walking with Dinosaurs and stuff. Do you think that really helped with building the animals out of Lego? Obviously.
Kind of, yeah. Probably not directly. I think because I've done a little bit of clay sculpture and drawing and stuff like that, I think in 3D quite a bit, and so thinking in 3D allows me to get the sort of shapes of their heads and stuff like that a bit more realistic, I guess. Yeah. So probably, and because my design work at Creature Tech was all 3D based, so I think that way.
He's effectively
Yeah,
AutoCAD.
it's a very unsexy answer, I know. Sorry.
I appreciate like thinking in 3D is a hard technique to learn. So I understand what you mean. Do you have any plans on releasing any sort of like basic animal instructions or anything like that? Like I've always wanted to build characters and animals, and
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's any tips or links or website you can point us to that would give us some help or instructions.
Nothing is yet. I'm working. I haven't spent any time on it for a very long time, but yeah, I do want to get something out there that people can just build. Obviously, not the scale we did on the show, but like there's some smaller stuff.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
I know. I was like,
Show and tell.
we are now in
This
MasterChef.
little guy's kind of. Well,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is he in the green room?
yeah, I think it was actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him.
No.
No, he's different.
Something that scale is probably not
Gorgeous.
too hard to get out there
Small
in that way.
scale Lego sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
You
big
should
problem
release
was
the
like
little
selling
frogs, guys.
year.
I think you have it somewhere, right?
Nobody did build it. Too many parts.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what
exactly. And they're put together in ways that are not playable, if that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? Like they're quite they're static things that shouldn't be moved once they've been built, and that makes them hard to actually put together as well.
And provide instructions for.
What was that?
And provide instructions for. As soon as you start putting all the weird angles and twist the ball joint exactly 22 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the suggestion for a website for you. iamgus.com.
Yeah.
And if somebody else
Not
already
bad.
owns it, we're going to buy them out. That's
Yeah. I suggest you go and buy it right now, God. Otherwise,
People be like, "What's EM Gus? EM Yarm Gus? I don't get it."
So Rowan's asked a question. Were there any techniques you wish you'd practiced before you went on the show to be up to speed on them?
Minifig scale houses.
nah.
Fair point.
I learned a lot from Ryan about how to number studs so that you could then plate the outside of something. That was all new to me. And at my first couple of builds, I lost a lot of time. We lost a lot of time because Ryan was probably rebuilding some of the things that I made. So that, and I think framing big sculptures and structures, I probably would have, we built a lot of small stuff when we were practicing, but I should have spent some time making bigger things. But that's, yeah, I don't know. What about you guys?
I reckon at the same time, you pick up a lot of stuff during the show. I learned heaps of stuff. And the thing is, the scale of the things we build in the show, you don't normally build them at home. It was just insane. Like, I don't know, the trees for the final, for example, that was crazy big, and all the techniques, and
I mean, I think that's the huge thing is in the scale of it. Like a lot of the plates were basically like 100 by 100 studs, and you get 10 hours to fill that and do it impressively. For me though, like it's the technical, using technic framing, motors. I was cast 2 weeks before filming started, so I just didn't have the time to, like, I never assumed I would be on it. So it was like, oh shit, I don't know how to do that at all. Let's just wing it, shall we? Yeah.
Another question from the users, is there any techniques, Lego techniques, that you learnt on the show that just wowed you and went, oh, that's so cool?
One thing that I noticed, the way we built our mountains and like any sort of large blocked out area massively changed. I used to do the small patch honeycombing, but if you look at the home one, we ended up just using 1x16s sitting on burps.
Okay.
And just side by side, and that just filled up that space so quickly. Like, would I do it at home? No, burps are worth a fortune. But it was, how do you fill this space really quickly? And it wasn't, it wasn't the normal burn brick sort of arrangement where you'd have some of the old bricks and what it was just like. It doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's not the color that you're going to need on the outside. Bang, just a least number of bricks to get the maximum space. Particularly when, like, he's gone now, but Owen and Scotty, just any challenge, twice as many bricks on the plate as anybody else in the room, and just
mind blowing.
It did not matter who it was that walked past.
Even on the mission to Mars.
Yes, it just they had, it was all 1x1s and 1x2s, but twice as heavy as any other plate.
Okay.
And you just
even the tree. Remember the
tree going? Will it hold up? Sorry. Like, I know there was a bit of controversy when they put the extra limb on the tree and whether it would stay connected or not.
No, of course it did.
I'm very surprised that that's still up. He was bricking it. He should have plated it. But anyway.
I think he did plate it.
Yeah, he played it afterwards.
Yeah.
The first one was bricked, and it was like,
Yeah.
No wonder it's cracking off.
Yeah.
But they definitely seem to defy any sort of logic of time and space. Now it sounds like Doctor Who had something to do with it. But anyway.
Yeah,
No, they were
maybe it's
crazy.
because they're from Perth. And they have
Maybe.
they started
The 2 hours
technically
behind.
at the same time, but 2 hours earlier. So
they get an
they
extra
had 2
2
hours
hours.
extra for every build. Yeah. Gabby's trying to work that out and see.
I'm trying to work out what that means for Colombians. It's not good.
Oh.
Wait, are they behind us? Because then Gus might have something to say. Wait, was he always behind what you were trying to do?
Yeah, they're way behind us. The thing is, what time is it? It's like 15 hours right now.
They were young. That's exactly right, Steve. I'm 44, and these boys could be my children, literally. And they would run, and I'd be like, I don't do running. Like, what's this about? Yeah. We actually in the cut in half build, what wasn't shown, I was quite relieved it wasn't, but we got taken for a field trip to Gus and to Owen and Scott's build to look at how fast they were building it because of the volume that they had down as opposed to what we had down. And they were showing us the honeycombing, and we just went away like, thank you very much. That was very educational, and we feel pretty rubbish. But yeah, he was a freak of nature, wasn't he? I mean, Scott was more sort of laid back, but Owen was like a gazelle. He would just be like, it was insane.
But it was Scotty that was doing the big builds. It was him that was the
bulldozer. The bulldozer in the final.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know. It was like 2 hours.
That was 2 hours.
Yeah. And design, You should have seen how excited Ryan and I were, though, when every time we learned that our desk was close to the brick pit. We were so old. We're like, oh, this is going to make such a difference.
Yeah.
It's probably a couple of kilometers less running over a long field.
I think they only put it close to the brick pit once because they saw probably that we got lazy. We were just walking and coming back. So just once they put us next to the brick pit, and that was it.
Great TV. Watching the old people dimmer frame to the brick pit.
Right. Every time I see myself run, I would just be like, that is a girl that does not go to the gym. It's just embarrassing. It looks so awkward.
We found out that producers love us. They love watching us just run back and forth to the brick pit. That keeps them amused all day.
How did you get on with the crew working on the show? Like, I know there's I did the whole Zoom with the crew. People don't realize that you would have had quite a few staff. Do you know how many crew were on the show?
We never
more than
saw.
50.
Yeah, we never saw them
There's
all.
more
Half of them
than
are back
50.
behind the scenes. And all the people washing the bricks.
They were all
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And isolating as well because it was filmed during the lockdowns.
Yeah.
So they would have been away from their family. That would have been amazing to see them react, I guess, when they did the Zoom call with all the families.
I got the feeling, if you looked closely, that might have been a bit of stock footage. I'm not sure how many. I don't know how many family members were in there, but I don't know.
Legal department, I can feel it.
Yeah.
No, you can see it if you zoom into the image, into the footage. You might be able to see it. So.
You recognize, Nigel's family? Okay.
No, I didn't. No, I'm just saying that. I don't think we're going to get into legal problem.
No, I'm joking.
Anyone can zoom into the footage.
So,
my friends, I'm going to have to go, but I apologize for that, but it's been lovely to chat as always, Wade, and I'm going to see you on Saturday night with some pizza and parties.
Absolutely. Anyone else wants to come? Pizza and parties, Marcus, on Saturday?
And congratulations again to you guys for your amazing builds last night. Super proud of you and much love.
It's good to see how winning hasn't changed these two boys either. Yeah, you're still laid back and chilled. That's good.
Hasn't said anything.
Yeah, it's day one. Yeah, give them time.
I'm sending you a horrible private message later on, right?
I better go too, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. It's been fun.
Thanks, Gabby.
Right. Thanks, Gabby.
Thank you.
Right.
I think we both have to go, don't we, Gabby? Anyway, she's gone. Yeah.
I think you do too, because you've got another meeting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're doing the
interview or something. So we might wrap it up there, I guess. Everyone is running off. unless you guys want to stay and chat. I'm sure you've probably got other meetings as well.
I'm cool. I'm not much of a chatter. Sorry, Wade.
All right. No worries at all.
If anybody has any questions in the mugs, they can send them to me or send them to Wade and he can get them to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks again for joining us today. It's been really great to have a chat and ask some questions. And yeah, if you ever wanting to come along to Mugs meetings, we're more than happy to have you along. Yeah, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, I'll end the broadcast now.
Radio. Thank you.